Hello, everyone, and welcome
Welcome.
to Magic Miracle Monday. We're so happy that you're here with us tonight. I'm Bhimi Cayce. I'm a senior presidential director, and I'm here with my wonderful, lovely co-host, Amy Homsey, who's also an SPD. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you so much, Bhimi. Welcome, everyone. We are excited to be here. I love partnering up with Bhimi. So, folks, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to share a couple testimonials. And for those of you who are brand new on the line, we welcome you. And whoever told you about this call genuinely cares about you. And we're going to share some latest information on how to elevate your health. But we're going to spend about 30 minutes together, not too long, have two testimonials, talk about the science, talk about the company, but we're going to share, like I said, the latest technology with this patch that will elevate your health. And it's, we like to say, be the light. And you're going to hear that a lot because this is light technology that you've never seen before with a 20-year-old company with our scientist, founder, and inventor, David Schmidt. Okay, the name of our company is LifeWave. I'm going to talk more about that at the end. So with that, I just want to do our little disclaimer, and Bhimi's going to welcome our first testimonial. But again, I know some of you are just coming on here. Welcome to this call. It is recorded, so you can get the recording later. But folks, we are here to just share information. What you're going to hear are individual stories. Everyone's story is going to be different. We're not here to treat, cure, or diagnose anything, ladies and gentlemen. With that, I want to turn it over to my good friend, Bhimi Cayce, with the very first testimonial.
Thank you, Amy, and nice to see everybody. I love Monday nights when we gather like this. It's our community, and we're really here to share the joy and the incredible results that we are seeing all over the world. You know, we're here in our little block, but every single day, people see how this technology works for them, how it changes their life, and how they're able to live in more vitality and wellness. And when you can offer that to the people that you love and care about, there's something that happens in your heart. There's something that happens where you're doing something so wonderful in the world, no matter what else is happening. If you can change somebody's health, where they are feeling better, stronger, more aware, more clear, more energized, then you've given a gift to somebody. And that's what LifeWave patches are about, the technology. It's a gift that you give that keeps on working, just like the energy bunny. So with that, I want to bring on my first guest, our first guest, which I've recently just met Dr. Helen. She is an extraordinary woman. So much background. I just want to give a little bit so you get a sense of where she comes from. She's been a chiropractor for over 40 years. She trained in Ayurvedic medicine as a physician for 20 years. She's an educator in that. She's an author of 2 books. And she really looks at merging ancient science with modern wellness. And she uses all kind of laser technologies. She's an NAET expert. She works with pulses and diagnosis. She's got so many tools, and she loves LifeWave. And we're going to hear from her what drew her to it, why, with everything she's doing, was she attracted to LifeWave, and then how she's using it in her practice and what is happening to some of her patients. So welcome, Dr. Helen.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Bhimi, for that great introduction. I appreciate that. Well, I'll just tell you a little bit about my practice. I got into chiropractic when I was 17 years old because I had seizures all my life. And my older sister, finally, she got in a car accident when I was 17. and she got great results with chiropractic, and that was like in 1971 or two. And she said, "You've got to take Helen." So I went to my mother took me to the chiropractor, and they did x-rays and examination, and they adjusted me. And after about 7 or 8 treatments, I have never had another seizure. Now, I went to UCSF in Sacramento. I was sent to San Francisco, and I took phenobarbital and belladonna when I was a kid for a long, long time. And they always used to tell my mother, these are seizures, but they're not typical epileptic seizures. And so when the chiropractor said, well, she probably got this because I had 8 brothers and 3 sisters, and I used to try to keep up with my brothers. So I jumped off of fences and roofs and every other thing on the planet. And so I fell out of a truck one time. So it is likely that I had a mechanical problem, not an organic systemic seizure. And when I got that adjustment, my whole life changed. I stopped having seizures. I stopped having pain. I was 17. I was just graduating from high school, and I knew this is what I'm going to be for the rest of my life. And sure enough, it is what I have been for the rest of my life. And I've practiced for 43 years. And I do chiropractic on every patient every time. I went to India. I met Deepak Chopra.
Dr. Helen,
Yeah.
we're going to have to jump into I know you have so much to share, but we're
Okay,
going to have to
I'll
jump.
get right in there. Anyway, I have a background in Ayurveda, and I have a background in Nambujapad allergy elimination technique. And my specialty is chronic disease. So the cases that I want to bring up today, I've seen a lot of different things, and I've only been using LifeWave for like 6 or 8 weeks now. But I put over 40 people on LifeWave patches. So, and some of my really toughest cases. And one woman, Sue, I'll call her, she's 82 years old, and she has severe autoimmune disease, and she's been coming to me for years. And she was starting to not be able to walk and using her walker and just going down, debilitating. And I put the patches on her, and I sent her off. And a week later, she came back, and she was bent down, and she was walking severely straddled, like she had her legs over a horse. And all of that was gone. She was standing up erect, and she was energetic, and she was talking much more animated. And we were both amazed. I have another case of a
Let me
woman.
ask you real
Oh,
quick, which patches did you use with her?
I use 39 under the belly button and Eon uh, at the nape of the neck. And that was it because, I just got my own package. So I just used what I had. And then I had a 38-year-old woman who had a severe fractured foot, and she had a compound fracture, which means, the bone comes out of the skin, and she had surgery on it. And 9 months later, it was still swollen with red. And so I had been treating her, and she lives 2 hours away. So she would come once a month because she grew up in Santa Rosa and had been coming to me since she was a teenager. She's a lawyer, and she came in, and I said, Patty, how about if we use these patches? And I explained the whole thing. And she's like, whatever you say, Dr. Helen, just help me. This swelling will not go away. And so she bought the core package just immediately. And I had her use Ice Wave, and I had her use X39 under the stomach and Eon. Sorry, my phone. Here, I have my charge here. Um, and then I had her put the Ice Wave patches on the foot. And she came back about a month later, and all the swelling was gone. And I mean, she's a very skeptical lawyer person. And both of us, I mean, I've known her since she was 16. We just laughed with each other. We could not believe it. And she just couldn't believe how good her foot felt. And then I have this woman, 79 years old, and she had a terrible suicide tragedy of a child. And she's had like a mental breakdown, and I've been seeing her for decades. And so she's getting older, and she's starting to show, she was uh, starting to show severe signs of feebleness and cognitive deficiency. And I know her and love her. I take care of her husband, her children, and her grandchildren. And so I was really concerned, and my modalities that usually had been working, I could see were less effective. And so I was really desiring strongly for a breakthrough. And lo and behold, Danielle Lynn, who called me, I was on her radio show in 2013, and she called me and she told me about this, and also to tell me that she was replaying the show. And when she talked about it, I was like, this is the breakthrough. And I immediately bought it without even asking questions. Because, I mean, after you practice for, like you do anything, you get good at all those nuances. And I felt, okay, this is what I need, a non-invasive system that's used by the body that stimulates the peptides and the amino acids, because it was a pathway that I hadn't used before. Did not have a modality to get into that. And I've been using them on Suzanne for about 4 or 5 weeks, and she is doing so much better. She told me the other day, she says, I'm 79 years old. When I got up in the morning, I got in my car and did an errand. And then I went over to my granddaughter's house and took care of her for 3 hours. Then I came home and I cooked dinner. And I had a very nice time with my husband that night. I had energy all day long. And she was clear and strong and grateful. So, yeah, I really love
Now,
this.
let me ask you one thing, because you mentioned to me that your clientele is older, right?
Well,
You're
I mean, yeah, I would say more 60% of them.
so you're looking at this as a solution for them, and you had talked to me about this. Can you share with us about that, why this is good for the old, kind of the older population?
Because it increases energy, and it operates at the mitochondrial level, which of course is the powerhouse of the cell. And so if you put one oxygen into the Krebs cycle and you get 54 ATPs of energy. And this feeds that all day long with these patches on. And I really have been studying nano biotechnology since I've been into this. And if you go in AI and you ask for the top 5 nanobiotechnology devices that have come onto the market in the last 5 years, okay, it's very interesting. And they're like, for example, they use 2 ways for it to get into the body: one through the mouth, or they inject it into the body, the nanoparticle, the crystal, okay, in a little vehicle. And one of them is they inject a nanoparticle into the body so that it gets to a cell for a person who has MRSA, which means antibiotics don't work on them anymore. And it goes in
Yeah.
and it drills a
So
hole through the membrane, and it
I know this is a little more detailed for,
Okay, sorry. But
no, it's
anyway, I'm
okay.
really fascinated by the whole, and
No.
it's really revived my sense of being with patients. And every patient I talk to that I put the patches on, they come back and say they either feel better, or they text me and say, well, now are you going to get me those patches?
I love it. I know there was one other story you mentioned about Erica.
Oh, yeah, Erica Thomas. Sorry, shouldn't say her last name. Um,
Okay.
e- okay, Erica is she's a therapist, and she specializes in weight, and she's always had a severe weight problem, like 100 pounds, 150 pounds, like that. And I have her on SP6 and Eon and X39. And I just talked to her the other day before I talked to Bhimi, and she said that one thing that she's really feeling is finally this fog coming, brain fog, and she has so much more clarity and energy, and that it's really been affecting her life in a positive way.
And how much weight has she lost?
Gee, I don't remember now, but a lot. Since she's been taking the patches, she's lost 7 pounds just in a week.
Yeah. So, because you've been seeing her for over 20 years, so.
Yeah. Yes, I have. A lot of people I've been seeing over that much, but yeah, my clientele loves the LifeWave.
Thank you. Is there any last thing you'd like to share about, what working with the patches and how you see it, overall and down the road?
I I think that you should just patch everybody you know up, and talk about it all the time, and also, but follow all the rules and don't overdo it, and make sure you tell your clients to drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water. That's very important, and you don't need a lot. I mean, it's like the persistent ones that are using X39 and Eon. I hear a lot of really great things. And also, a particular case, just quickly, is really swollen legs of 70, 80-year-old people from the knee down to the ankle, using the energy enhancer on the right, the white patch on the right under the knee, and the tan one under the sole of the foot, has really gotten some great results with reducing swelling and congestion in the lower legs. It's miraculously so.
Thank you. That's a great tip because, a lot of people do have that swelling and that's an easy fix. So thank you for sharing that. And thank you for sharing all the different results that you're getting with your patients. And we'll have you back another time when you can give us more results. Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Amy, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Wow, I love that, Dr. Helen. And I concur. Everyone needs to be patched. So thank you. That's awesome. So now I want to call on Danielle from Salt Lake City. Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Oh, she's frozen.
You're frozen, Danielle. Can you hear me?
I see her on the screen, but she's frozen.
Yeah, something happened with the internet. Danielle, can you hear us?
Oh, now you can. Okay.
There you are. Now you're moving. We see you. How are you?
I'm so good. Yeah, I jumped
Awesome.
in at your request of having somebody jump on. And yes, Dr. Helen is, you can see,
Amazing.
yeah, you can see why we reran her show in 2013, and then I reran it again, and then reran it again, and then I ran it a couple of weeks back, or now it's been a couple of months, and that's the end of the story. And she joined LifeWave right away, and we've partnered, and she's been a great a friend to many of my listeners. It's been a pleasure to have somebody at the calibration that she operates at.
Oh, that's
So
important. And now she's blessing how many lives, right?
so
So
many,
we
so
appreciate
many.
you jumping on here. If you don't mind sharing with the audience how long you've been on the patches and maybe what you were dealing with prior to learning about the X39.
Yeah, I looked at them 15 years ago and absolutely turned them down. I think Dr. Nichols I think that's his name. Anyway, I just turned it down. I was already involved in direct selling and, not interested, had a residual income. And then I broke my leg 3 years ago. And Pamela Butters, or La Luz, is my sponsor, a direct, and she brought him to me, and I put him on because of her, and they worked, and I still said no. So it took me another year afterwards to say, okay, until I went on the cruise and I met David and I met like 500 people that were dropping patches everywhere. as when I said, there's something here. The people are incredible. The vibration is beautiful. And then I just said, you know what, I'm just doing this. And we're just barely getting ready to put it on the show. My show is in 100 countries for 42 years, over
Nice.
5 million listeners. So I'm very, very, very careful what goes on the air. And we've been assessing it enough. So, that's it. And I love the patches. I just have a quick testimonial and then I'll go. I got bit by a spider, I think, when I was sleeping. And I woke up in the morning and I was like, wow, that's so swollen. What is that? And then it started to break out. And I thought, well, patch it. So I patched it immediately, right on with an X39, put it right on the place. And pretty much 90% of it was gone by the next day. And then I nurtured it just a little bit more. I had an Eon. I put an Eon on the back of my neck next to it. And that was pretty much it. And somebody's asking, what is my show? It's my name, Danielle Lynn Show. You can get it anywhere in the world on any podcast site or just daniellelynn.com, Lin, important to spell it. And, we interview people, as she mentioned, Bhimi, like in that conversation, Deepak Chopra and Andy Weil and, Joe Dispenza and Jack Canfield. I mean, everybody's there. So to have this now be introduced to this, to these people that trust and have somebody, like Dr. Helen come on, it just, it's just such a quality group of people. So thank you so much for everything you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing and, sharing tonight. And thank you for sharing with others because we're all on a mission, right, Bhimi? We want to help people and give them quality of life. So thank you, Danielle. And with that, folks, for those of you new on the line, you're probably wondering, how does this work? What is this patch? How does it work? So Bhimi, why don't you share that with all of us?
Okay, real quickly, everyone. The science is simple. It only took 10 years to develop, though. So it was a bit of a trial and error. That's why it's the X39. But basically, what you have here is a crystalline structure embedded inside the patch. And so what happens is you put it on your skin. The body is emitting light. We all know that, infrared light. And then it reflects back a certain wavelength. That wavelength elevates right away your GHK copper peptide, which is super, super important. You can Google that, find out everything it does. Most immediately, it's going to start to reset over 4,000 genes. Excuse me. And then it's repairing your DNA. The most important thing, though, is that it starts activating the body to make younger cells that regenerate and know where to go to start healing the body. And when that happens, all these different results that you hear start showing up. You have more energy, you better sleep, you're able to focus, you're not anxious, you're not depressed. All these things start balancing out and diminishing. And so what we suggest is that you wear the patch 12 hours on and 12 hours off. This is a science called phototherapy. So your body has to have downtime. You're regenerating during the day, and then at night when you sleep, you're it's repairing, sorry. And then you do it again the next day. And what starts to happen, it's accumulative. And the more you wear it, the more the body is starting to heal on many different levels. You don't really know what the body needs first because you may have like a shoulder pain, but all of a sudden your headache goes away. Your knee pain goes away. Different things happen at different times depending on what is going on the body in the body. And what is happening is a communication pathway is set up. So wherever there's dysfunction, the cells are starting to go for the body to heal. And like you heard, you want to drink a lot of water because that helps activate the patch to be more effective. And there is one of our newest products that recently came out, Celergize, which when you couple with the X39 makes it even more effective. And you can talk to the person that invited you to find out more about that. So with that, Amy, I think I'll turn it back over to you and you can talk a little bit about the company and how people can get their hands on it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bhimi. Folks, this all started 21 years ago. LifeWave is a global biotech company, and our founder, inventor, scientist, David Schmidt, is the man at the helm. Okay. Again, we're 21 years old. We're in 82 countries. By the way, all this technology has over 200 patents. All right. So we're talking about a product that works naturally in the body, but is backed by science. And I'll tell you, 5.5 years ago when I got started, that really intrigued me. So we're going to talk about credibility here. We're a global company in 82 countries. We have 90 plus clinical studies, over 200 patents, works naturally in the body, no chemicals, no medications, no side effects. And David Schmidt, again, is the scientist, and we're the only ones, folks, that have this proprietary wearable health technology. So if you're on here for the very first time, I want you to understand something. You can't get this anywhere else. LifeWave is the only company that has the technology, and that also means we have zero competition. Zero competition, which I just thought was mind-boggling, right? So this is simple, effective, and affordable. To me, it's the easiest thing I do for my health. I believe in supplements and all these other things, but you put this on, takes 1 second, and you forget about it. And as you go about your day, the magic is happening, right? And we like to say, be the light. And that's what we're doing. We're sharing quality of life. We're sharing this light technology because people need hope today. People are more stressed out than ever before. People are overwhelmed. People have back pain. They're not sleeping. So now we have something that could possibly help them and give them quality of life. So I want you to think about, who do you know? Who do you know that has a challenge? Who do you know that's struggling? Who do you know that's in pain? Who do you know that's not sleeping, overwhelmed, right? I mean, most people. So we have a solution that could potentially help them. Again, that is simple, effective, and affordable. So, we want you to get your questions answered. Please get back to the person who cared enough about you to get you on this call. By the way, we have different wholesale packages because we want you to get it for wholesale. And folks, I looked at this 5.5 years ago because I had some health challenges, and I just said, what if it works? What if it works? For the price that it costs, we're spending that money anyway, right? So quality of life, quality of health. That's what we're all about with the latest technology that is out there. So with that, we want to thank you all for coming on here. Have a blessed night, and we will talk to you soon. But please get back to the person who got you on this call.
And one more thing, we will have another broadcast like this on Thursday night. So please invite your friends and guests to come and hear some more incredible testimonials. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, guests.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Helen, and thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.